You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yes! What's happening? Yes! Oh, this is a great day. This is going to be a great day. Yes! This is going to be a fantastic day. On a Monday, too, we got to bring it back. We got to bring it back. Yes! I kill me. Yeah, thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. May 4th, 2015. And, oh boy, we got a lot to get into. This is the day that a lot of people have dreaded for many, many years now. And it's finally here. Yes! Shouts out to all my Stewies. Everybody already in the chat room, getting their chat on, doing what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. If you're a new listener to the Doug Stewart Show, man, thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Yes, Doug Stewart, that Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. And I got my own show now, man. Been doing it for about 8 months. So if you're new, Just know that it's the stews, but it's only one stew. But one stew is better than no stew. Yes, sir. We have a great time around here Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pass the word and tell people. Trust me, you're going to have a good time. If you're listening to the show, follow the show on Spreaker.com and then jump in the chat room and be totally interactive. Speaking of the chat room, shouts out to everybody already in the chat room. All my Stewie. Shouts out to Mocha Bella, Vince Wright, That Ninja, Jungle Brother, Rail Scott, Vern from Jersey. Shouts out to you all. Yes. All right, so obviously we watched the fight down at the Tavern Restaurant this weekend in the SWATs, Southwest ATL, off of Campbellton Road. Had a fantastic turnout. The place was sold out. Every single table was bought. It was a fantastic time. You know the outcome of the fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. did, in fact, beat Manny Pacquiao by unanimous decision. So Floyd gets the first baller of the week. And indeed, fat meat is greasy. We talked about this last week. Fat meat is greasy. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but until they bite into it and they taste it and all the grease just slides through their mouth, some people have a hard time accepting that fat meat is actually greasy. And it is actually greasy. And I said it a little bit earlier, man. Today is a fantastic day because for many, many, many years, the Floyd Mayweather detractors have come on this show, have come on the Two Live Stews, have gone out on the airways, and just talked about this man so maliciously. You know, there's not a lot of things, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I just thought about this. There's not a lot of things you can say to a grown-ass man more offensive than calling him a coward. And Eugene Jackson comes to mind, listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of people in media, Teddy Atlas, Joe, whatever his freaking name is, Tessitore, whatever his name is, this weekend just bashing Floyd Mayweather Jr. We're going to talk about this fight all day long today, and I want to get your thoughts, but this is something that you need to remember. And this was kind of glazed over this past weekend after this win for Floyd Mayweather Jr. They call the sport the sweet science for a reason, okay? Now, I said it the first thing after the fight was over. It wasn't the most exciting fight. It's pretty boring, but guess what? In effect, that's what Floyd Mayweather has done his entire career, okay? He's fought that exact same fight his entire career, and it's done him well. It's got him to 48-0. All right, and I don't know what people expected to happen in this fight that didn't happen in the past 47 fights that this dude has had, but you are sadly mistaken. All right, the man is a tactician, and we're talking about scientists and the sweet science. He's probably the greatest scientist or one of the greatest scientists in the history of boxing. And it was unbelievable to me, and it's still unbelievable to me, even after this man beats Pacquiao, that everybody in America always talks about how Floyd doesn't fight anybody. I took the liberty and the time to write down a couple of names that Floyd Mayweather has beaten over his career. You know, he doesn't fight anybody. You remember he beat Diego Corrales, super featherweight champ, 33-0 at that time. Arturo Gatti. Floyd landed 168 punches to 41. Zab Judah, unanimous decision. Carl DeMos Baldemir hadn't lost a fight in 8 years until he fought Floyd. Oscar De La Hoya, the night that De La Hoya and Floyd fought, this is an interesting thing about that one. De La Hoya picked up 10 pounds in between the weigh-in and the fight. So Floyd, in effect, was fighting a dude much bigger than him, and he beat the great Oscar De La Hoya. And people don't talk about that. Ricky Hatton, you remember Ricky Hatton? He was undefeated, and Floyd knocked his ass out. Marquez, you know Marquez did. Marquez had the epic battles with Manny Pacquiao, knocked Pacquiao the F out in their last fight. Victor Ortiz, Miguel Cotto, Canelo Alvarez, Maidana, Shane Mosley, and the other night, the great Manny Pacquiao. Now, as I said a couple of minutes ago, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the fight was not aesthetically pleasing, and I think that everybody in America, or let me say this, the novice boxing fan the novice boxing fan expects to see Hagler versus Hearns, the first 2 rounds or whatever it was. That's what they expect to see every single time, but that's not boxing, okay? That is not boxing, all right? Floyd Mayweather Jr., and I've said this for many, many years, and you scoff at me, and you talk about me, and you point, and you wave, and you mock me. Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport. He thinks he's the best ever. I don't know if we can even argue with him. I wouldn't say he's the best fighter ever, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I wouldn't say he's the best fighter ever, but how can I argue with him? The man has dominated the sport for 19 years. He's made more money than anybody in the history of sports, not just boxing, at the time that they were playing or doing their prospective sport. The man's made more money this year than any other athlete in the history of the world. Okay? So who are we to argue? The problem is, and you saw a lot of the tweets and the Facebook posts that I placed in my social networks after the fight. The problem is, and why everybody's upset and talking about, all the negative aspects of the fight and the fact that it wasn't this slugfest. The problem is that y'all thought it was going to be something different. In the famous words of Marlowe in The Wire, when he was talking to that security guard that came into the convenience store, you want it to be one way, but it's not. It's not. You want it to be one way, but it's not. See, y'all thought, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, y'all thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to come in there and dominate. That Manny Pacquiao would be the Tasmanian Devil. He would be the Roberto Duran-like fighter that we've seen throughout his career, and that was going to be it. And somebody was going to beat the bad Floyd Mayweather Jr. But such is not the case. The great Manny Pacquiao, yeah, you need to sit down and listen to this. Don't go anywhere. You've been talking for the last 5-6 years. You need to sit down and listen to this. The great Manny Pacquiao was reduced to an amateur fighter the other night. And here's the thing about it. All the names I just read you, the Diego Corrales of the world, the Zab Judas of the world, the Victor Ortizes of the world, the Miguel Cottos of the world, they all came into their fights with Floyd Mayweather Jr., and everybody said, this is the guy that's going to do it. And that's what we heard over the last couple of weeks, the last month or so, about Manny Pacquiao. That's what we've heard over the last 5 years. And when he got into the ring, everything that you thought you were going to see went out the window. You know why? Because he was in the ring with an all-timer. Ball award to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Fat meat is greasy. It is. Fat meat is greasy as hell, and I told y'all. I've been telling y'all for 5 years. Eugene Jackson, I hope you listening. I told you. This is something that I know. I love sports in general. Boxing is probably my second favorite sport of all time. Okay? I'm a fan of the sport. Okay? All right? The styles that make the fight. Everybody will tell you that. All right? Stop being a surface dude. All right? Stop talking about, he wasn't fighting and he ran, this, that, and that. How the hell he ran when he landed double the punches? Come on, man. Just stop it. You're better than that. And Teddy Atlas and Joe Tessitore, whatever his freaking name is, and all of these haters out there talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. ain't in the annals of so-and-so and so-and-so. I know one thing. Once again, I'll repeat it. The man don't got a loss. The man has made great fighters look average throughout his entire career. The man took home $100 million the other night. And maybe that's what you're mad about. Maybe you're mad because the guy is very braggadocious, he's arrogant as hell, and he throws it in your face, and the man made you, and everybody that thought that Pacquiao had a chance in this thing, the man made y'all look like fools. All right? Floyd Mayweather Jr. can't damn read barely, allegedly. But he knows how to count. That Mickey Ficky knows how to count. He knows business, and damn it, he knows how to box. So stop it. Stop it with the puppet factory and the contrived narratives you try to throw out there about this man. And I'm losing my religion right now. And my pressure is going up, but I'm tired of it. Stop it. And old punk ass Manny Pacquiao, I lost a lot of respect for his ass after the fight. I lost a lot of respect for him. Talking about his shoulder hurt. Man, we all hurt. Floyd Mayweather Jr. been talking about his damn hands been hurting for the last 6, 7, 8 years. And you come out after you get your ass thoroughly whipped and talk about you thought you won the fight and you got a hurt shoulder? Just stop it. Just stop it. My homeboy, Gary Zink, I love you. Eugene Jackson, I don't love you, but, I'm calling your name out because you are one of those big detractors. Y'all need to just stop it. You need to just stop it. And damn it, if you thought you were going to come on here and not hear me go off, you're crazy. Something's wrong with you. You call this man out of his name for over 5 years. You called him out of his name. And Manny Pacquiao, at the end of the night, looked like a freaking amateur. He didn't know what the hell to do. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that when I get into this fight. And then when he got in there, he looked like a freaking amateur. I'm going to read a lot of your chat today. I got to get my pressure down. I got to do some yoga in here for a minute or two. But damn it, the chickens have come home to roost today on the Doug Stewart Show. Where you at? Where you at? Where are you at? Oh, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where all the haters at? Oh! Oh!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975 and work it out.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So I'm probably 6. So Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield. And it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. May 4th, 2015. And who are you really mad at, man? I mean, who are you really mad at? Did you expect Floyd Mayweather Jr. to come in and act like Aaron Pryor or Marvin Hagler or somebody like that? He pretty much has fought the same way for the last, 47, 48 fights. What did you expect? Why are you mad at him? If you're mad at anybody, you could really be mad at the Pacquiao camp, Pacquiao himself, for not being more aggressive. And you can also, if there's any truth to this whole shoulder injury or whatever, which there may be, you could be mad at Bob Arum. You could be mad at Freddie Roach that basically sold y'all a bill of goods. If this man was hurt, he shouldn't have went out there and embarrassed himself. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what he did. He embarrassed himself. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. It's just fun. The only thing about this fight this past weekend, and I've calmed down now. I've done my woosahs in the break. Woosah. The only thing about this weekend that could have been better is my prediction. I predicted Floyd to win this fight by knockout. I called it the 8th or the 9th round. And the reason I did that is because I thought that Pacquiao would be uber aggressive like he has been his entire career. And I thought he'd get caught with a right hand at some point, during those rounds. He didn't. Very cautious, abnormally cautious for Manny Pacquiao throughout his career. And you just have to chalk that up to the fact that he was confused. And he was upset, okay, that what he normally does didn't work this past weekend. And so you got to imagine that's tough for a fighter like Manny Pacquiao. Once again, his entire career has come forward, has been the aggressor, and everything that he tried and all the motions that he had gone through before that had worked so successfully, they just didn't work. So I would imagine that would be very frustrating. And every time he tried to come in, you saw the fight, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Every time he tried to come in, Floyd would clutch him. But once again, that's what Floyd has done historically throughout his career. I think this whole thing just boils down, once again, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. This thing boils down to America in general is mad. First of all, because they hate Floyd Mayweather Jr. And because they were sold. And nobody likes to be sold. Nobody likes to be sold on a product and then you get home and you got buyer's remorse. Nobody likes that feeling. I think America is mad because they were sold a bill of goods, okay, based on the disdain and the hate from Floyd Mayweather Jr., of Floyd Mayweather Jr., and the media and the way that the narrative has been pushed over the last couple of weeks once again concerning said hatred for Floyd Mayweather Jr. I think they kind of, got bamboozled. And so you paid $100 for the fight, and the fight wasn't exciting. I've acknowledged that. But what more did you expect? If you came into it expecting to see Hagler Hearns that first round, then that's a you problem. It is. That's a you problem. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talking about the fight all day long. We'll also get into some conversation about the NFL draft, some of the winners and some of the losers. The NBA playoffs this past weekend. Ball award goes to the Los Angeles Clippers as they do it. It's kind of like that moment where you remember the Bulls, and I always use this example because it's the most glaring. You remember when the Bulls couldn't get past the Pistons? You remember that? You remember in football when the Dallas Cowboys or the Green Bay Packers, it was reverse, when Green Bay couldn't get past Dallas? You remember that? And then they went on to win, a couple of Super Bowls. Maybe that's the moment that the San Antonio Spurs have arrived at today, where the Los Angeles Clippers make that next step and they get past them and they win their series against the San Antonio Clippers. Dramatic last-second shot by Chris Paul, and the Clippers go on to round 2 in the playoffs. Congratulations, ball award to them, and in particular to Chris Paul. Yes, sir. I know they're happy. Yeah, I know they're happy. So ball award goes to them, and the question begs to be asked, is this the end of the San Antonio Spurs as we know it? I would think yes. They seem to not have the punch. Even though they were in this series, they could have very well won this series. It seems like that they've ultimately come to the top of the mountain, okay? And that they can't do anything now at this point but go downhill with the age of all those core guys, Ginobili and Parker and Duncan, obviously. These teams in the West getting much better. You see what Golden State's doing right now. You saw what the Clippers actually did in winning this series. I think that's probably it as far as championships for the San Antonio Spurs. If Duncan comes back, if they can keep those guys together, they might make some noise. But I just think that the Clippers and the Golden State Warriors have overtaken them as far as what could happen in a 7-game series. Okay, so congratulations to the Clippers, man. Baller award to them. Baller award to them. My gosh. Buster Award. I was watching, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I got to tell you a little bit later today about me almost getting into a fight with the old dude from New Jack City. I'll tell you about that later. But after the fight on Saturday night, I went home and turned on the Puppet Factory, and they were giving the post-fight commentary, and this guy, Joe Tessitore, and Teddy Atlas, I think they embarrassed themselves too. I'm going to give them a Buster Award as well. And the reason I'm giving them a Buster Award is because they're not really, well, Teddy Atlas probably is. Teddy Atlas definitely is an analyst. But the Joe Tessitore guy, and they were railing on and on about how boring of a fight it was and how Floyd is not one of the greatest fighters of all time. I'm also going to throw into that category and give him a Buster Award as well. This guy, Robert Flores. All right. Now, Robert Flores, you've seen him. He's one of the anchors on SportsCenter. And yesterday, or maybe it was the right after the fight, and I actually saw the video on yesterday, or maybe I saw the video on Saturday. And Robert Flores just went off about how Floyd Mayweather Jr. should stop using the moniker and the acronym TBE, the best ever, and that's not true, and this, that, and the other. And I'm saying to myself, dude, what the F is your problem? Okay? You're an anchor. You're not really an analyst where you're supposed to give opinion. So him and Joe Tessitore just so outward about their disgust for Floyd. That's not their job. That's not their job to give opinions. That's total bias that an anchor person, a person in that position should have. That's their personal opinion. That's not their job. Teddy Atlas's job, to more of a degree, even though I thought that he was super biased as well in his analysis of the fight and his opinions on Floyd. I think that he's better than that. He should know better than the things that he said after this fight. Those guys, there's no excuse for that. Those guys are anchors, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Okay, they aren't analysts. And the way, just Google a little video with Robert Flores and Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A., to his credit, and a lot of times I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith and some of his commentary and his opinions, but to his credit, he shut dude down. Oh, Robert Flores. Oh, yeah, Mayweather. That was a disgrace. He should never say that he's in one of the greatest fighters ever. He shouldn't use that anymore. He should. What? That's what Floyd Mayweather thinks about himself. That doesn't necessarily mean what you or I have to think. I said it a little bit earlier. Do I think Floyd Mayweather's the greatest fighter ever? No, but it's hard to argue. You know, there's several guys that I've seen in my lifetime that I think would beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. If you're talking pound for pound in that weight class. You know, I think Sugar Ray Leonard's a better fighter. I even think maybe Roy Jones Jr. at the top of his career is a better fighter. and they have losses. That's fine. Muhammad Ali. There's a lot. But that's what Floyd Mayweather thinks of himself. Okay? Who are we to tell a man? And I posted this on Twitter as well. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. This ain't like communist Russia, before the Cold War. This ain't 30 years ago. Like this Robert Flores guy, in effect, was telling Floyd Mayweather Jr. to stop thinking highly of himself. This is comical. This is so comical to me, man. And this is why you listen to the Doug Stewart Show. And if you're a new listener, this is why you should listen to the Doug Stewart Show and not the Puppet Factory. Because you're going to hear real dude talk, all right? And this guy, Robert Flores, says that Floyd should not think so highly of himself. Despite the fact that he's 48-0, despite the fact that his back has never hit the canvas, despite the fact he's probably the greatest defensive fighter of all time, Floyd shouldn't say that. Floyd Mayweather should never say he's the greatest fighter ever. Absolutely comical. All right. I mean, this is very comical. It's very comical, and you knew it was going to happen. You knew the detractors were going to come out, and they were going to say that he's a boring fighter, and we wasted money, and we got robbed, and it's all Floyd's fault. And he's a woman beater, and all of this stuff outside of the ring. He's a bad guy, and he dominated your hero. He dominated him. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. When we get back, man, we're going to talk some birthdays. We're going to talk some birthdays, and I'm going to start reading your chat, man. Want to get your thoughts on Mayweather, Pacquiao, the NFL draft, the NBA playoffs. I want to get your thoughts on all of that, man. I'm going to read a lot of chat. All right, I'm done ranting. You know how I feel. Really, you know how I felt about this subject over the last 5 or 6 years, really. But I guess I just had to get it out of my system. When we get back, we're going to start having some conversation about the fight, your conversation about the fight, the NBA playoffs, the draft, any other thing that you want to talk about. I got to give you my review about from the Avengers. I saw it this past weekend as well. We'll do birthdays, all of that. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you could be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5Electronicsinc.com. That's System5Electronicsinc.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday, and I need your ballers and your busters, a.k.a. your game balls and your goats. Mayweather versus Pacquiao talk, NBA playoffs, the draft, whatever you want to talk about, you can do it on this show. Yes, you can. This segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle. I mean, these people at System 5 Electronics are fantastic. They've got all the latest and greatest new technology. If you give them a call or you hit them up online and let them know that the Doug Stewart Show sent you, that you can get a free driveway probe with the purchase of a smart solution system. And what that is it has all the bells and whistles, all the gadgets, the new technology where somebody drives into your driveway and you're alerted. You actually get an alert on your phone, your smart device or whatever, computer, that somebody drove up in your driveway. And so you can address it. All right, so you can get all of that for free with the purchase of a smart solution system, the driveway probe. So hit them up online at System5Electronicsinc.com. Once again, System5Electronicsinc.com. I'm going to read some of your chat here in a second. There's just a ton of it, obviously. A lot of varying opinions about this fight this weekend. I see a lot of people who do agree with me and my points that I've been making really over the last 5 years. There's a lot of people that just are mad. They're mad that they didn't see Hagler versus Hearns. And that's what it comes down to. They're mad that they were, in effect, bamboozled into spending $100 for the fight, which you didn't even have to do that. You could have spent about $15, $20, or actually $30 to come and watch the fight with the Doug Stewart Show at the Tavern Restaurant, the place in which I almost got into a fight with the old man from New Jack City. I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, people are mad because they spent their hard-earned money and they expected Manny Pacquiao to win. They expected him to win. And they expected Floyd to get shut up, to be put in his place. And that didn't happen, so now America is mad. Get over it. Just get over it, man. Today, Victor Oladipo, guard for the Orlando Magic, turns 23 years old. Happy birthday to him. James Harrison, 34 years old today. Linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, why did I think James Harrison was older than 34? I guess he just looks older than 34. Yeah, he's 34 years old today. Happy birthday to James Harrison. I mean, typical Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker, just a beast. Jackie Jackson is 64 years old today. Now, Tree, jump on for a second. And Tree is the producer to the Doug Stewart Show.
Good morning.
Good morning. So,
Slugger.
that's funny. Jackie Jackson, 64 years old. He's the second oldest of the Jackson kids. Is that the one that has those like real greasy-looking finger waves we've seen in the news lately? Is that Jackie?
He and Jermaine have the same hairstylist. Jermaine, and Eddie have the same hairstylist.
Okay, explain that to me. I mean, explain to me what's going on there with that. The whole, it looks like finger weave slash Jerry curl slash waves. I mean, what's going on with that?
I don't know what finger weaves are, but finger waves is what it looks like. I meant finger weave because he can't have that much hair at 60-something years old, right? I mean, that's some type of wig. Well, you know how you remember how people used to sell Tupperware? I think that Eddie Long might be a distributor, and so they might all get together and like have parties and buy different pieces.
Right.
That's what it looks like is going on.
Wow, Jackie Jackson's 64 years old today. Michael Jackson died at age 50. What was that, like 6 or 7 years ago? Or was it more than that? So Michael Jackson was 50, so he's probably 57. So, yeah, about 8 years older. They had a lot of damn kids in that house. Catherine, speaking of which, Catherine Jackson, his mama, turns 85 years old today. Happy birthday to her. You a big Jackson fan, Tree? You're of that demo when the Jacksons were hot when we were kids, and the Jackson 5, and they like hot cheese.
I'm not of that demo. I liked grown folks' music. I wasn't into them.
You
not
weren't?
The Jackson 5, but I did have a Michael Jackson poster.
Mm-hmm. Off the wall?
When he had the yellow sweater on.
Oh.
I was into him, but I wasn't into the Jackson 5.
Right. Okay, all right. Erin Andrews turns 37 years old today, ESPN anchor. She's not one of the chicks that were banned from the fight, allegedly. You heard about that, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. No, it was Michelle Beadle, and it was Nicole. I can't remember the young lady's name from the Puppet Factory, but supposedly this story came out that they were banned from the fight, that they weren't going to be issued a media credential. Floyd's camp is denying it. I don't even know what happened. And I guess Floyd probably and his camp probably feel some type of way because they continue to ask him questions about old things. And in effect, that's what it is. And I can understand why Floyd being upset about that, continuing to ask the questions about domestic violence that happened many, many years ago, which he went to jail for a couple of months, not saying, or trying to be a proponent or a fan of Floyd or to that degree talking about domestic violence. But I can understand, him being upset because this is not the time or the place to talk about those things many, many years after the fact. Those things were talked about many, many years ago. Once again, Floyd actually did an interview with, I think her name is Michelle Nichols. I'm not sure about that. And he addressed those stories and what happened with him and how he had to go to jail. And 5-6 years later, y'all bringing it back up and we supposed to be talking about the fight? I could understand how you would feel some type of way about that. He's saying he didn't ban them from the fight, but they saying that he did. From the world of wrestling, Mr. Fuji. You remember Mr. Fuji? He turns 80 years old today. He was the wrestler that was supposedly from Japan, but actually he was from Hawaii. And that's what they did with the wrestlers all back in the day. Just because you were a certain ethnicity, no matter if you were from Kansas or not. Like I think the great Baron von Raschke was from Kansas or something like that. But Mr. Fuji was actually from Hawaii. He played a Japanese wrestler, and he used to spray or throw salt in his opponent's eyes. I mean, that had to hurt. That had to hurt, Mr. Fuji. But unlike a lot of wrestlers, he's still around till till this day, and he's 80 years old today, so happy birthday to him. Wrestlers usually don't live that long. I mean, they usually take themselves out, or they die tragically in their late 40s or 50s. Yeah. So for Mr. Fuji to make it to 80 years old, he did that. Congratulations to him. Let me read some of this chat here on the Doug Stewart Show, and thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, treeless sports talk show in America, the most unfiltered. I mean, the opinion you're going to hear is probably different than everywhere else you're going to, listen to. And the Puppet Factory at the top of that list, definitely. So follow the show on Spreaker.com, and also join in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Speaking of which, man, we're up against a break right now. We talked with Tree a little bit just now. We also talked about these birthdays, and I think we actually came into this segment a little bit late. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break. When we get back, all I'm going to do is read chat. And I always talk about it, and I always talk about my peoples in the chat room, my co-pilots, my co-hosts, the Stewies. This is their show as well. And so we get back, I'm going to do nothing but read chat. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to read and comment on your chat, and that's what we're going to do, man. I thank you so much. We appreciate it. Free Speech Radio appreciates it. Stewart Media and Entertainment appreciates it. Okay? The support that you give to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes. This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Right about now.
If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Getting your ballers and your busters. That's what we doing today. And obviously talking about Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Maypac, as they called it. As Floyd Mayweather Jr. goes to 48-0. I'll tell you a little bit later what I think Floyd's going to do going forward after this last fight that he has on his contract. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. Also, I'm going to tell you what I thought about the new Avengers movie as I saw that this past weekend as well. We got to talk a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons, their draft, as well as the Atlanta Hawks, man. I can go ahead and talk about that quickly right now. Hawks go down the first game of their series with the Washington Wizards, 104-98. Hawks were on top in this game most of the way until the last 10, 12 minutes, and the Wizards came back. Nothing to really worry about, man. I hate that they gave this one away because they were in control once again. But the Washington Wizards, man, they got a squad. They got a nice squad, and maybe the Wizards, maybe it's their time to take that next step. Fantastic nucleus of players, man. You talk about John Wall and Bradley Beal, and then you got Gortat, and then you got Nene. So they got some players, man. I hope not. I said that anything less than the Eastern Conference Finals for the Atlanta Hawks would be a disappointment. So we'll see what happens with that. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. But let me read some of this chat from Max Jones III. BPA on May Pac fight. That's the Boyle Penis Award for new listeners. I'll explain it later. I was waiting for them to hold hands and slow dance. Play me another slow jam. And so obviously my man Max Jones III is upset that the fight was quote unquote slow. But once again, that's not Floyd Mayweather's fault. You're mad at the wrong person. If you're including Floyd Mayweather Jr. in this, quote unquote boring scenario, really, you're wrong. You're placing the blame in the wrong place. Place it on Manny Pacquiao. Okay? Floyd Mayweather, this is what he does. And I've reiterated this many, many times over the weekend, and today, this is a typical Mayweather fight. Why you mad, bro? It's as simple as that. From Leon, fight wasn't exciting because of Manny. Floyd did what he does, exactly. From Sluggo, Jamie Foxx's version of the anthem paired with that organ in the background was god-awful. You know what? I couldn't tell really whether I liked it or I hated it. Part of me says, and another part of me is like, it was horrible. And
that's because you can't sing.
I don't know. I hear a lot of people. I saw a lot of comments on Twitter where people thought, or Twitter and Facebook, where people thought it was great. Then I saw just as many said it was awful. So you thought it was awful. I remember we were in there and Tree. You liked it.
I was being loud on purpose I was being an agitator.
Oh yeah. I got to tell that story. So let me quickly tell that story. No, I don't want to tell a story because I promised I would do chat. But later when we talk about how I almost got into the fight with the guy from New Jack City that wanted to kill Nino, I need you to jump in, Tree, okay?
All right.
From Sluggo, from Fred Mack. I know Pacquiao's team was talking way too much. Big woofers usually don't back it up. From OG Dion, boring-ass fight. I agree. It was boring in relative terms. If you compare that fight to some of the classic fights, Ali, Frazier, once again, Hagler and Hearns, probably the great first round in the history of boxing. Yeah, you got two sluggers that were matched up against each other, and Hearns and Hagler. Okay, that's why that fight went the way that it did. Styles make the fight in boxing. Okay, Floyd Mayweather is a pure boxer. He's a scientist of the sweet science. Okay, and it's scoring. And people forget that. People think that boxing is grappling and guys getting up and trading 1,000 punches. No, there's a scoring system for a reason. All right? The whole purpose and the goal is to hit and not be hit. And Floyd is one of the best to ever do that. Don't be mad at Floyd. Or if you're mad at Floyd, clearly a lot of people are mad at him. What I'm telling you is that you shouldn't be. And that you're getting your blood pressure up and you're mad at the wrong person, the wrong entity, if you're talking about being mad at Floyd Mayweather Jr. This is what he's done. And if you didn't know this is what he does, then shame on you. From Vince Wright. Hi, Tree. Can me and Snowflake get a shout-out as we celebrate 19 years together? Love celebrating in South Florida. Shouts out to you, Vince Wright, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, sir. Yeah.
It's his anniversary. He and his wife.
Okay, I don't know what happened just now. But happy birthday to Vince Wright, him and his wife celebrating their anniversary. And did he call his wife Snowflake Tree?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
he
so
can if he wants to.
that's fine. That's fine. Vince is obviously a brother. He's married to a lovely Caucasian sister.
Yes.
And they celebrated. I saw him posting pictures on Facebook this weekend. They celebrated in Miami. Happy anniversary to you, Vince. Also, happy birthday to Irma Ricks. That's Jersey Vern's mom. I didn't get a chance to do it the other day. Happy birthday, Miss Ricks. God bless you. You were able to raise such a nasty devil heathen of a guy in Jersey Vern. So happy birthday to you, Mama Ricks.
Oh, my God. You can't say that.
From Rel Scott. I can say anything I want. It's my show. Vern, know I love him. From Rel Scott, Buster Ward to Denzel for looking like he just woke up and forgot to shave. Yeah, Denzel was looking real scraggly. And I do the scraggly thing sometimes, but I'm not on national TV. I guess when you're as big as Denzel Washington, at some point you just don't care. And if you saw the fight, they interviewed Denzel Washington, and he had on his customary New York Yankees hat and an Adidas suit, old school like Run DMC. From Fat Boy McCoon, the fight was for a check to get the IRS off of Manny's back. And there was a lot of speculation about how much Manny really wanted this fight or how much he really needed that money. And he's going to get $80 million. And this is why I don't want to hear none of the excuses about a damn shoulder or anything like that. Because if you knew the man's shoulder was hurt, you should have just pulled him, okay? No, but nothing came out about his shoulder or any type of injury from Bob Arum or from Freddie Roach or from Manny Pacquiao. So don't. I said this the other night. In the Philippines, it might be okay to make excuses after you lose, but not in America, Jack. We don't play that. And I lost a lot of respect for Manny when he pulled that crap after the fight. From Fat Boy McCoon, Wizards look legit. From Scotty Buster and BPA to Jamie Foxx for going gospel ninja on the national anthem. Terrible. But that's what we do is go gospel ninja on the national anthem. I mean, that's been done for a long, long time. And I think Jamie Foxx just something was not right about it. And everybody always talks about Marvin Gaye and his rendition and Whitney Houston. And they're legendary. And I think Jamie Foxx went for his the other night, but it didn't work out so well. It just didn't. It didn't work out. From RJC, Floyd played everybody into paying for the fight. I think the fix was in, and Manny played along with it to get that money to pay off his taxes. But why would Manny play into or take a dive, I guess, what you're trying to insinuate? Manny wouldn't do that. He just got beat. I think Manny may have taken the fight knowing that he couldn't win. That's something totally different. I mean, the way your text sounds is you think Manny took some type of dive or anything like that. No, that's not the case. Maybe Floyd did play people and try to build this fight up over 5 years, okay? They were talking about Floyd getting, I think, $40 million if this thing had went down back in 2010, and he walked away with $100 million. At the end of the day, he's going to get like $200 million. The man got a check for $100 million. You can't be mad at that. Hell to the no. From Sluggo, Buster to the Hawks for losing the game. Hell. With that logic, Buster Ward to the Heat for going from classy to ashy. Yeah. Who we got? Scotty. Manny's camp already had this plan because they knew they couldn't beat him. They took the money knowing this would be Manny's last big payday. Right. I don't want to hear any excuses about a shoulder or any of that crap like that. I mean, y'all took the money. Okay? You wanted the money more so than you wanted your fighter to win. And that says a lot about Bob Arum. That says a lot about Freddie Roach. That says a lot about the sport of boxing. All right? It doesn't say anything about Floyd Mayweather Jr. He went in there and did what the hell he was supposed to do. So I don't want to hear no damn excuses. I really hated that, man. At this press conference, you may not have seen it because it happened like at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. At this press conference, Manny Pacquiao comes out there, and Freddie Roach and Bob Arum gives this long soliloquy on how Manny's shoulder was hurt. Man, we ain't trying to hear none of that. Calm down, Doug. Calm down, Dougie. Like my old man used to say, calm down, Dougie. From Fat Boy McCoon, Manny knew he wasn't going to win. He just wanted the check. Laugh out loud. Keen 941. We know you in love with Floyd. All right, you say what you want. From KC, Doug gonna need an inhaler and an oxygen mask. Calm down, Ninja. Laugh out loud. From Fred Mack, Floyd should have come out. Fight, walk to IDFWU. Floyd should have came out. Fight with to IDFU. Oh, I don't F with you. Got you. Yeah, that rap song from Leon. Manny should have to give some of his money back. Yeah, I agree. If you know you were hurt, you know you couldn't put on the performance that y'all were promising, even up to the minute of the fight, they were saying that Manny was going to win this fight. And then this joker taking selfies coming out of the hall, out of the dressing room. How hurt can your damn shoulder be? You up there taking selfies. I don't want to hear that. Excuses are tools of the incompetent. They build monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them are seldom good at anything else. Excuses, sir. That's pledging stuff, but you know what I mean. Excuses? You just got your ass totally outclassed, and you talking about your damn shoulder? Ah, Manny. I mean, Warriors don't act like that. Very disappointed in you. All right, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show coming up. When we get back, man, I'll read more of your chat. We'll read more of your chat. We'll quickly talk a little bit about the Falcons draft and what they did. Obviously, we're in Atlanta. We're nationwide. We're worldwide. But, I mean, our roots are right here in the ATL, so we'll quickly talk about some of the draft picks. I love the Falcons draft. I like a lot of things that they did. So we'll talk about that quickly, and then I'll jump into your chat. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The world's heavyweight champion of sports talk radio, the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining me. I know you're mad. You're still mad, studio audience, that Floyd handled his business. But you're better than that. Thank you. How you boo your fearless leader? This is the Doug Stewart Show, May 4th, 2015, hour number 2. I'm going to continue to read your chat messages, man. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Talking about everything from this past weekend, your ballers and your busters. And obviously the talk from the weekend is Floyd Mayweather Jr. handles his business in convincing fashion, beating up Manny Pacquiao. I scored the fight every single round on Facebook, and you can go back and look at it. I think that I probably gave Manny probably 3 rounds. I might have even given him 4. I was very lenient in giving Manny rounds because I just didn't want people to say I was biased in my opinions or whatever. But clearly Floyd won the fight. Even some questionable rounds I probably could have given to Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, just very convincing, man. And Manny Pacquiao was reduced to, in effect, an amateur fighter. He was frustrated. He didn't know what to do at a point in that fight, and he just looked really, really bad out there. He just looked awful out there. And this is the guy. And let me ask this question, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm glad I remember this. I've been meaning to ask this question for weeks, and for some reason, something happens, and I always forget. Why is it that everybody in America, all the Floyd detractors, why do they always say that, you know, this fight should have happened 5 or 6 years ago and that Manny isn't the same fighter? Because that makes no sense. You do know that Floyd Mayweather is older than Manny Pacquiao, right? He's 38 years old. Manny Pacquiao is 36. So based on that logic, really it should have helped Manny that this fight happened 6 years later because Floyd's deeper into being an older guy. Okay? Okay, so 5 years ago, Floyd Mayweather would have been, 33 years old. Manny Pacquiao would have been 31. So that doesn't make sense at all. Everybody, this fight should have happened 5 years ago. Manny's past his prime. So if Manny's past his prime, isn't Floyd even more past his prime? That doesn't make sense at all. And I've been meaning to ask y'all this on the show once again for weeks. They continue to say Manny's past his prime. Well, if he's past his prime, Floyd is more past his prime. If you use logic, it doesn't make sense at all. 404-382-033. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane to me and funny to me all at the same time. The talk about this fight and what happened this past weekend. Jungle Brother, roll call today. Call him out, Doug, in my Flavor Flav voice. Call him out, Doug! From Sluggo. The only talking point I agree with is Floyd's unwillingness to take risks. That's true, but if you're an A-rated fighter, make him take said risk. Why would Floyd take a risk when he's 48-0? This is the commentary, just like the question I just asked, where it doesn't make sense. It's almost like that argument about Shaquille O'Neal. All he can do is dunk. Well, all he can do is dunk. That's fine. That's all the hell he needs to do. If Floyd Mayweather goes 48-0 and not even really contested till this day, once again, the guy's back has never hit the canvas. He slipped one time and went down to a knee and put a glove on the ground. Why would Floyd Mayweather do anything different? The sport of boxing is to hit and not be hit. It's the sweet science once again. You're scoring points. Yes, we all have a animalistic side to us where we want to see guys mix it up, and we want to see, monumental rounds like Hagler and Hearns once again. But that's not really what the goal of the sport is. The goal of the sport is to win, to outscore your opponent. And Floyd probably does that just as good or better than anybody in the history of the sport. I mean, just respect greatness is all that I ask. And I've said this before many, many times, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm not really a fan of Floyd Mayweather Jr. outside of the ring. It's like I'm not a fan, really, of Kobe Bryant outside of the basketball arena. And both guys have pretty much shown themselves to be jerks, for lack of a better phrase. That's fine. I don't give a rat's ass about these cats outside of their sports. Okay, but in their sports, you need to respect the greatness and appreciate the greatness that you're witnessing. Okay? You got to see one of the greatest boxers of all times. You got to see one of the greatest basketball players of all times. And you're busy poo-pooing on it because of their character outside of the ring or off the basketball court? I mean, shame on you. Bust the award to all those people. Well, why would he take a risk? Why would he get into a puncher's duel with Manny Pacquiao? Why would he do that? That's not what he does. Why would he be outside the character of what he has done that's been very successful for him? And I'm pointing at the heavens. It's been very successful. Why would he change that? Just because you want to see two cats mix it up? Just because you want to see Floyd Mayweather put on like this rope-a-dope style like Muhammad Ali? That doesn't turn out good. I mean, you've seen these cats. If I was a boxer, I'd do it like Floyd does too. All right? You've heard Evander Holyfield talk. You've heard Tommy Hearns talk. You've heard Muhammad Ali. You've seen what's happened to Muhammad Ali in his older age. And so you're mad at Floyd Mayweather because he doesn't want to get hit in the freaking head? Come on, shame on you. Kiss my go to hell. Skip is so damn ridiculous right now. Okay, so I guess he's talking about Skip Bayless on First Take, my old nemesis. And I can only imagine the ridiculousness of Skip Bayless right now, who's on the record as being one of the greatest Floyd Mayweather Jr. haters of all times. I can only imagine what's going on that show right now. You don't need to turn to it right now. You need to keep listening to this show. From RJC, Floyd Mayweather is the San Antonio Spurs of sports. Fundamentals is key. Yes, I like that analogy. From Fatboy McCoon, Doug trying to get him a private jet from the congregation. I'm not trying to get no private jet like Creflo. Sometimes I just lose it. Sometimes the emotions just, they overtake me. And when I hear ridiculous, biased opinions all over America and I have my outlet and my platform to retort that, I will. This is my damn show. All right? So once in a while, I go to freak off. Because that's what I do, is I go to freak off sometimes. So all of the garbageness I hear out in the media today. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. J.B. Jennings busted the pack. We're talking about he thought he won the fight. Baller to CP3 for putting the clips on his back and refusing to lose. Baller award once again to Chris Paul, man. He's taken a lot of grief over the last couple of years. With not being able to compel his team in the playoffs in particular. So ball award to him, man. I've always said one of the best 2 or 3 point guards in the game over the last couple of years. A lot of people argue with me and disagree with me on that. That's fine. Quasi Takio. I'm just going to say Q. Every time I try to say that damn name, I always freak it up. From Q. I'm thinking Clippers all the way now. Ooh. I still won't say that. I won't go that far because I just think there's something wrong and there's a problem with DeAndre Jordan in the middle and not being able to hit shots and not being able to hit free throws. I think that's, if he had a little bit more consistency, and really consistency isn't the right word because he's got like the highest, shooting percentage in the league. If he had a little bit more, just slightly more of a perimeter game or slightly better average from the free throw line, I think I probably would say the Clippers, but something about that whole situation with DeAndre Jordan is broken, and I've said that many times. I just don't know what it is about the Clippers, but I just don't buy them to winning it all. Might be wrong this year. We'll see, but I don't think so. From Stringer, that right kiss. Ball award to the Falcons for finally drafting a real pass rusher. Jamal Anderson didn't count as a real pass rusher. Yeah, shouts out to the Atlanta Falcons, man. Vic Beasley, I think, is that dude. I think he is that dude. The Puppet Factory give the Falcons a B score for their draft. They get Vic Beasley in the first round. Jalen Collins, a solid cornerback in the second round from LSU. And you know that Dan Quinn comes from a system where you have to have strong physical corners, and so Jalen Collins comes in that category. Tevin Coleman, the running back, rushed over 2,000 yards at Indiana. I don't know a lot about him. Obviously, he played in Indiana in the Big Ten, so America really hadn't been introduced to Tevin Coleman like that, I guess, because I really don't know a lot about him. But he ran for over 2,000 yards in a major conference, and you can't be mad at him. Physical, has great vision. Justin Hardy, the wide receiver from East Carolina that broke so many records in college football throughout his career. This is a guy that was a walk-on when he came to East Carolina and just made himself into a fantastic player. Then they take Grady Jarrett, the defensive tackle from Clemson. Jesse Tuggle's little boy. Solid player at Clemson throughout his career as well, from Georgia. I think he's from Conyers. Jake Rogers, offensive tackle from Eastern Washington, and Akeem King, safety from San Jose State. So they address needs. Obviously, they address the defense and getting pressure on quarterbacks. So I like the Falcons draft, man. And I think Vic Beasley, man, I think he's going to be a stud. Congratulations to him and the Falcons. All right, when we get back, I'm going to read more of your chat. I mean, it's your show. It's the people show. I mean, who else has a more interactive show in America than the Doug Stewart Show? Nobody. So more of your chat when we get back. More conversation, more balls and busters from this past weekend. Don't go away. Fat meat is greasy. You going to learn today. The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. In a constant battle against weak-ass sports talk. The Doug Stewart Show. Make sure you tell somebody about the show. I really would appreciate it. I mean, we really would appreciate it. This segment is brought to you by National Debt Relief. They're one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditors and collection accounts. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, an alternative to bankruptcy. So before you file bankruptcy, give these folks a chance at National Debt Relief to help you out with your financial situation. Give them a call. Grab a pencil. I'm going to give you their phone number. The number is 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and see if they can work it out. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy, talking about the NBA playoffs. Washington Wizards get a win yesterday over the Atlanta Hawks in the first game of their 7-game series. The Golden State Warriors, man. And Ball Award, and I should have mentioned this earlier, Ball Award goes to Steph Curry. As we're hearing, he is going to win this year's NBA MVP. And Golden State put them things on Memphis yesterday, man. And Steph Curry phenomenal, man. This might go down with the fact that he's winning the MVP this year, this early in his career. This Golden State team looks like it's going to be a good team for a long, long time to come. They might even win a championship this year. This might be one of the biggest stories in basketball history with Steph Curry because he's so young, but his skill set is just so phenomenal, man. And it's crazy because he's smaller. And I think that a lot of people like Steph Curry and they kind of identify with Steph Curry because Steph Curry doesn't look too much different than most of me and you or most people that watch basketball and sports in general. He's like an average-looking kid. He has this youthful look about himself, man, and his game is just killer. And so it's hard to identify with a 6'9", 6'10", 7-foot guy. But I guess it makes us feel kind of good inside that you see the little guy or the guy that was kind of slept on, the fact of where he was drafted. He wasn't drafted first in the NBA draft when he came out. I think he got drafted like 7th or 8th or something like that after a couple of guards. Ricky Rubio, and he also got drafted behind somebody else. I saw an article on that a couple of days ago. So Steph Curry is going to win the MVP, man. Congratulations to him. I think I would have given it to James Harden, and I even like the job that Russell Westbrook did this year. You've heard me talk about it, but I get it. I totally get it. Steph Curry probably deserves it, the best player on the best team with the best record. So I guess I kind of get it. So congratulations to that ninja. Happy. Congratulations to him. From Kiss My Go to Hell. Them Falcons had a damn good draft from Stringer. From RJC, the Spurs lost on a last-second shot. They'll be back in the playoffs again with 50 wins like they had for the past 17 years. It's very possible, but I don't think they're going to win a championship. I think that their opportunity to win a championship has probably passed them by with this loss in the playoffs. Teams are just younger. And at some point, everybody gets old. And I think they were probably at that point for the Spurs. Once again, I'm not saying they're not going to be a good team if they get those core guys back, but I just don't see them overtaking a Golden State or even a Houston as well in the Western Conference. From Convertible Scoop, got to give the Buster Award, Doug, for almost whooping that old man's ass in the tavern this Saturday. All right, so let me tell a story. I'm intrigued up on here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So you remember that scene in New Jack City where Nino was leaving the courtroom? He had just beat the case, and that old man with the gun came up to him, charlatan, and he tried to shoot him. I, in effect, went through the same thing the other night at the fight at the Tavern Restaurant. So it was these guys were boxing purists. It was two old guys. They looked like they were in their 60s, maybe even early 70s. And they came to the fight, and they had this table. They bought a table, and we had a DJ in there. And so between, the fight, between rounds, commercials, at the end of fights, the DJ was playing music, trying to get everybody hype. We're in a sports bar. We're having a good time. And these two dudes were pissed off. They kept calling the DJ over to their table. Can you stop playing the music? I walked by coming from the bathroom. They pulled me to the side. We paid money to come and see this fight. We don't want to hear no music, this, that, and the other. And so they're, in effect, raining on everybody's parade. So later on, right before the fight starts, the DJ goes back to doing what he does, playing the music. And I guess one of the guys at the table just had enough. He crawls over to me with his cane, look here, Sonny, and he points his finger in my face. All right, I don't own this place. I'm just working there. He points his finger in my face like his finger's touching my face. I paid $35 to come up in here, and you guys are robbing me. I'll never pay this money again. You got me. And I looked at him. First of all, I was shocked. I was shocked because the old Doug Stewart would have just slugged him. And I said, sir, I don't even work here. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? He was mad. He was mad as Hades. And Tree and my wife jumped up. My wife jumped up because she knows me. And she knows that I got a quick temper about that type of thing. But I wasn't going to hit the guy or anything like that. I knew the guy was old as Methuselah. And if I hit that guy, I'd probably be in jail. And I'd probably kill the dude. So I wasn't going to do that. But, just natural reaction was, man, you better get up out of my face. And he was mad, and everybody having a good time, and he's raining on everybody's parade. And Tree's sitting there laughing, and Charles Tree's husband's laughing, and it was just very, very funny, man. It was shocking to me.
Man, you left out a whole bunch of stuff.
What did I leave out?
Because once we knew, okay, so you're talking about the man that had the girdle on, that had the high-waisted pants.
Right.
Looking
His
like
belt line.
Councilman Davis.
Right. His belt line was to his nipples. It was.
So, but his boyfriend or whoever, his homeboy in the red jacket, he stepped to you first.
No.
He stepped to the owner first.
You're right. Right. He didn't step to me. That's the guy that like pulled me to the side when I was coming back from the bathroom and made his concerns known to me.
You were egging them on.
Because, and I had the same thing happen at the New Year's party this year. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, where older couple came in there and they were expecting something different. And these two guys, I don't know, it's 100 or so people in there. And these are the only two people that are mad. And because they wanted to hear all of the commentary between rounds and they wanted to hear the coverage on TV, they felt like we shouldn't play music and have a good time.
And make it clear to the listener, you weren't talking during the fight.
No.
These were the fights.
No. This was the preliminary fight, which nobody knew, and we could watch it, but, we were trying to get hype. It was the preliminary fight right before the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and then it was between rounds, and it was at the end of the fight. That's the only time the DJ was playing music. And these guys didn't like that. They wanted to hear every damn thing. They wanted to get all their $35 worth.
But you, Doug, you start acting up, singing while the DJ was playing, singing Alexander O'Neal, Saturday Love, and Jodeci, and on the mic.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Love,
and that
Sunday.
man looked like he was going to pull his skin off.
But once again, Tree, you got to let everybody know it was during the breaks. It was between rounds. It wasn't.
You were having fun.
I was having fun. It was a good time. I wore my little suit to put me in my Vegas frame of mind. I was making the most out of the opportunity. I wasn't at the fight. Damn it, I dressed up like I was at the fight. And these dudes was raining on everybody parade, man. They get a Buster Award. That old man, lucky I didn't jab him in his freaking throat.
I became very concerned, and you and the missus, hilarious.
Yeah, because, see, my wife has seen that many times in our life. See, we dated in college, so she knows that I got a real short fuse for stuff like that. You run up on me, but quickly I recognized that it was an old dude. And if I hit this guy in his throat, then I'd probably do some time in jail. Plus, I'm older and wiser, so it wasn't any threat of me fighting this guy. And then later on, not later on, right after he did that, he kind of walked away, and he was still complaining. So I got out of my chair and walked up to him and says, "Listen, man, you're the only person in here that's mad. Why don't you have a good time?" I got like kind of close up on him. This is no lie. God as my witness. He said to me, quote unquote, "Back up off me, back up off me." And he put his two fists up like he was gonna, get into a slugfest with me. He's like, "Back up off me, back up off me." And right then I started laughing.
Someone told my friend that was at the table with us said you tried to give him his $20.
No, the DJ tried to give him his $20. The
Okay.
DJ tried to give him $20 just so he shut up and let everybody else have a good time. And I guess he'd feel like he got some money back from what he spent. But everybody was happy. And yeah, this dude rolls up on me. He was getting into fighting position. He's like, "Back him off me." Back him off me. I was like, whoa, man. Whoa, old timer. Dude, if I punch you in that jelly gut you got, you'll die. I'm not even studying you, man.
His pants, his high-waisted pants. But you were having a little bit too much fun singing damn Alexander O'Neal.
Oh, man. That's one of my favorite. Now, that song takes me back. That takes me back to the crib, then the little hole in the wall, the juke joint, somebody on the side eating a pickle, somebody in the other corner eating the pickled pig's feet, some of them eggs with the green stuff in the middle. Yeah, when I hear that Saturday Love, Ooh.
If he would have hit you, I would have had your back, though.
If he would have hit me, he would have probably lost his life in there. I'm serious. Because that guy is clearly not in shape to take a beating. And, but you know what? My wife knew it. My wife knew it because she just knows that, once again, I don't like stuff like that, man. And trust me, if that was 1990 or 91 or 92 or something like that, man.
Or yesterday.
Yeah, all right. I probably would have spent a night or two in jail. I'm glad I've grown as a person now. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show.
Someone in the chat was there, and he's wanting to call in. Call in.
Yeah. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. All right, we get back from the break. I'm going to read chat. And I'm going to remind me to tell you and give you my thoughts on the new Avengers movie. I want to read chat, so I'll save that until the last segment. Tree, make sure and remind me to talk about the Avengers in the last segment of the show. But when we get back, all I'm going to do is read chat messages. If we got any phone calls, we'll take those. Man Talk Monday, Ballers and Busters, Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. Don't go away.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So I'm probably 6. So Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield. And it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh, man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around. My mother not around. And my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. If you not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Thank you. Continue to pass the word about the show. If you're a company out there and you like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, trillest, most unfiltered guy talk show in America, you can do that. We'd love to partner with you. Email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com and let's do some business. Yes, sir. Let me just jump right into this chat. From Miss Mocha Bella, busted to Floyd Mayweather for denying Rachel Nichols and Michelle Beadle, that's their names, Rachel Nichols and Michelle Beadle, their press credentials to the fight. They both went on Twitter to tell the world about how they were not allowed to see the fight because of their attack on Floyd about his domestic violence issues. I wouldn't even call it an attack on Floyd. They were doing their jobs. But the problem is, and I'm talking about doing their jobs and doing interviews with Floyd in the past and talking about domestic violence. I have no problem with that when it's relevant. To ask about, domestic violence with Floyd Mayweather right now, 4 or 5 years after the fact, I think it's dated. And you traditionally don't do that. And ESPN has broke a lot of rules in that aspect in talking about domestic violence and continuing to ask Floyd Mayweather these domestic violence questions. I saw, who was it, Jeremy Schaap, Dick Schaap's little boy. That's what I always call him. I saw him on the red carpet. They showed this little clip on the red carpet a while back, and in a recent interview with Floyd Mayweather, bring up this issue. You generally don't do that. I've been in this business. I remember we had O.J. Simpson in studio, and he was in town doing playing in a golf tournament, and we had him in studio for over an hour. And this was 10, 15 years after the murder trial, and people were mad. The people that thought O.J. Simpson had committed these murders, they were mad that we didn't ask him about the murders. No, you don't do that. People that understand the business know you don't do that. But because of personal biases and because, they feel some type of way about the person, they want you to ask them. They want you to step outside of the norm and ask a question about some dated story. Okay, and so I think it's out of pocket to ask Floyd Mayweather about domestic violence 5 years after the fact. If it was a new story, fine. If it's something that happened in recent history, that's fine. Something that happened 5, 6 years ago that you've covered till the end of time, you bring it up, and we're talking about in the conversation with a fight that's going to happen this weekend. I just didn't think that was right. I don't think that was right. Once again, not siding or being some type of proponent of domestic violence, but real is real, okay? Why would you bring up something in a story that you beat to death? That's probably not a good pun in this conversation, but you know what I'm talking about. You beat that story to death 5, 6 years ago. If something had happened last month or maybe even 2 months ago or 3 months ago that was relevant to now, I could understand that. That's just not the way to do it. But once again, ESPN controls the narrative. From Scotty, they should have boycotted Manny for his prior gambling and infidelity issues as well. From Bruh McDowell, but of course you knew they weren't going to do that. They weren't going to talk about that. From Bruh McDowell, Floyd is not the exclusive face of domestic violence from this past Saturday night. Ringside Sports announcer Jim Lampley caught a case several years ago, but of course they won't talk about that. From Grego, anything on that LSU lineman yet? The lineman, I can't remember his name right now, wasn't drafted because of some type of murder investigation. From Wizard Kelly, I think Jamie Foxx was drunk. That issue was horrible. Yeah, he could have been drunk. I'll buy that. I mean, it is Vegas. It is Vegas. It is a championship prize fight weekend. He could have had a couple of cocktails and, just went real off to the left on his rendition of the national anthem. Bruh McDowell, nobody is talking about Floyd's unprecedented levels of humility in these last few months. Dude is even going to relinquish the belt so others can have a chance to become world champions. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not ready to say he's a saint because he's going to do that, but that sounds like a good, admirable thing to do. Yeah, but no one's talking about that. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
It's Convertible Scoot, and I'm calling about your fight, actually.
Okay, who is this?
Convertible Scoot. I was at the tavern.
Oh, okay. Now, what do you mean my fight? I didn't get no fight.
You're almost fight. You wanted to put your hands on that man. I saw it in your eye.
But Convertible Scoot, the dude put his finger in my face. I mean, you know what that means where we from, right? Most of the time.
True.
I think I showed great restraint.
I must admit you did show great restraint. But I think you hopped up in the man's face at first, if my memory serves me correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was tough, man. It was tough. Once again, the old guy was messing it up for everybody else. He put his finger in my face. I think I showed great restraint by not swinging on him, hitting him in the goozle, as we used to say back in the day. If I would have hit that dude in his goozle, he would have just sat there and died.
He definitely would have been out. But see, before it started before you got there, because the DJ was actually playing music throughout the fight.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, when you got there, then he stopped and he only played it during the breaks. But by then, that old man had just had enough.
Yeah. And I know I didn't show up till about 10 p.m. And so, yeah, maybe that was the case that the DJ had been playing some music. I don't know what happened, man, but it was very funny, man. Thanks for the call, Convertible Scoot. I appreciate the call. 404-382-0338. Another caller. Thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
What up, Doug? What's going on, baby?
Vern from Jersey. What up, Vern from Jersey? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm just waking up, man, hearing this about this man, senior citizens about to tag you. What's up with that?
Well, Vern, it almost went down. Your boy almost got into a scrap, man.
Hey, you know your father upstairs shaking his head at you, man, because he wouldn't want you to do nothing like that, man.
And
so
I didn't, Vern. I didn't, but it took every ounce of my being not to hit this guy in his temple. And, I mean, that would have been ugly. I mean, that just would have been bad.
Oh, okay, man. I'm glad you did, man. I'm sorry I wasn't there, man. I had an out-of-town guest, man, but if I was there, I've been a security guard on a situation, you got to know how to talk to, jokers older than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. I would have took care of, man and whatnot. I wouldn't let you got beat down, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, trust me,
that was on the show, man.
That wasn't going to happen, Vern. Vern, you heard me earlier. I gave a happy belated birthday to your mama, right?
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. We had a ball. I had Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, man, before the fight, man. I did some things with it, man,
Good for you, Vern.
But I got her trying to listen to the show, man. She always called me up. How you get Doug's show?
She's not really into the whole new technology or online stuff, huh?
No, but she wanted an iPhone, man. So I got her one, man. It's gonna kill me though, man. I pay her phone bill and my son. So,
right. Oh,
it's
damn, Vern.
That's
the least you can do, Vern. I mean, she gave you life and whatnot,
Oh yeah. It's not a problem, man. It's all good, and tell Tree, man, I'm sorry I missed on Charles there, man. Because, I was going to let Charles know that, his wife.
You about to say something out of the pocket. You about to say something crazy, and I'm just not going to even let you say nothing crazy. Shouts out to Charles that was at the fight the other night. Had a good time, and I can tell Vern was about to say something crazy. And so turn your ass around, Vern. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. From the Kicking It with Kissy. Floyd is boring. He didn't dominate either. He just outboxed him. Listen to the statement you just made, Kicking It with Kissy. He didn't dominate either. He just outboxed him. Isn't that what he's supposed to do? That's the question I asked. You must have just tuned into the show late. He stayed alive, stayed afloat, won the fight, got the check. Will I pay $100 for his fight again? Hell no. BPA for me for not hitting Doug's spot, but we had a good crowd over at 10 ahead, made a little cash. Yeah, how many times before have you told yourself you wasn't going to pay money to see a Floyd Mayweather fight, but you keep doing it? You know why? Because that's the promotion of boxing. Okay, they make you believe that somebody has a real chance. I named all the fighters earlier that before he fought them, before Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought these guys, all of these guys, and you can run down the list of names, you believed in boxing, and HBO and Showtime made you believe that it was going to be a competitive fight. I'm saying to you, sir, that's not Floyd Mayweather's fault. It's not. And if you think it's Floyd Mayweather's fault, then you need to look in the mirror. You do. This is what he's done for 48 fights successfully. All right, he's undefeated. He's undefeated. And I do believe I gave Teddy Atlas a Buster Award earlier today for all of his comments and his biased opinions about Floyd after the fight. But I heard Teddy Atlas this morning on one of those shows in the Puppet Factory. I think it was Mike and Mike. And he said something that I had already formulated in my mind. But, he said it on a national level, so I'll give him credit. But this was also the same thing I was thinking. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to win his next fight, his contractually his last fight. I think he's going to win his fight, and he's probably going to lay out. He's probably going to say, I'm retired. He's going to lay out for a year, maybe even 2 years, and he's going to come back, and he's going to get that 50th win to pass the great Rocky Marciano. That's what he's going to do. He's always got a flair for the dramatic, and it might even be a good opponent. Because really all he has to do is do a one-fight deal and get somebody, of a much lesser talent than him, win the fight, pass the record, and it'll be fine. And nobody will worry about 20, 30 years after the fact, that he beat a tomato can in his last fight. It might even be a great opponent. But I think that's what he's going to do. And to build the fight up, it'll be a monumentous, historic occasion. And I think that's what he'll do. I think he'll win this next fight. He'll retire, and he'll come back in a year or two, and then he'll get that number 50 to pass Rocky Marciano. This is the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you so much for joining your boy. The number is 443820338. You still got time to jump in. Oh, when we get back from the break, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the new Avengers movie. I'll read a little bit more of your chat, and we'll wrap up today's show, all right? So don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this. You own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's System5electronicsinc.com. Y'all still mad at Floyd, huh? Come on, man. Cheer up.
Let it bump.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, studio audience. Yeah, I know. It's the hard knock life of Manny Pacquiao. Not really, though. He's going to get $80 million. That's not a hard knock life. That's not a hard knock life at all. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So, Saturday, with bells on, you know I'm a fan of comic books and superheroes and all of this stuff, and a fan of the movie genre, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So Saturday, the latest installment from Marvel Comics came out, the Avengers, and I went to the matinee. Actually, no, it wasn't Saturday. It was actually Friday. It was Friday after the show. So I went home and went to the matinee, went to the little 2 o'clock showing. And you remember when you were a kid, when you were probably 7, 8 years old? I remember when I was a kid, I always said to myself, man, like, I'm never going to not like toys. I remember as a kid saying this to myself. I was a strange little kid, I guess. And I remember saying to myself, man, I never understood how you got older, and my father and my uncles and my big cousins, like, they weren't playing with toys. Like, they're freaking toys. Who don't want to play with toys? You know? Like, I never understood that. And I remember saying to myself vividly, when I get older, I don't care. I'm going to be 30 years old, and I'm still going to have this G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. Or I'm still going to have this Battleship game, or I'm still going to have my big wheel. And eventually, when I got 13, 14, 15 years old, those things slowly went away, and I wasn't excited about toys. And, you know, at some point, you know, I didn't have any damn toys at all. And I think that's the case with me in these superhero movies. I think that I've simply outgrown them. Yes. And I know it's sad. It's sad. I think I've simply outgrown them, man. The last two of these movies that I've went to, the last Iron Man movie, the last Iron Man movie I went to, and I think the last X-Men movie I went to, and this past movie I went to, I left underwhelmed. Like, I left saying, man, I mean, it looks good, and I guess a lot of people are probably going to say that this movie was good, but I wasn't excited. I wasn't hyped. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like the first Avengers movie that I saw, or the first Iron Man movie that I saw, or the first X-Men movie that I saw. I left like with an empty feeling in my heart. And yes, they got a lot of CGI, a lot of explosions. I guess it's kind of cool, but I think that I've simply just outgrown them. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to go to any more of these genre movies. Because, once again, I grew up on them, you know, reading the comics, and I know all the backstories to these characters. But tell me what you thought if you saw the movie. Were you kind of disappointed? Like I was? I was kind of disappointed. And once again, maybe it has something to do with the fact that I'm just older and I'm just growing out of it. I have no clue, but I was not excited. Out of 5 afros, I'll give it 2. I'll give it 2 afros. Yes, Tree?
So people want to know in the chat, what didn't you like about it?
I guess it was just like the same thing, just a different day. All of the explosions, the storylines. I guess maybe I'm just bored by it. Once again, I'm not saying that it was a bad movie. I guess if you're really into it like I was 5-10 years ago, you might think that it was fantastic. I don't know. I just wasn't excited about it. I was at the end, I kept dozing off. Like I dozed off once or twice. That's unheard of for me in watching one of these movies, man. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I think they made more money on the opening weekend, or the second most money made by a movie on this opening weekend in the history of movies. So obviously everybody's going out to see it. The marketing campaign has been over the last year or so. They've been promoting this movie. So they're going to make their money, but I just wasn't too excited. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Bro McDowell, nobody's talking about Floyd's unprecedented levels of humility. I already read that one. From KC, and if a man wants to be called the best ever, damn it, this is a free country. You should respect his wishes and call the man the best ever. And talking about the whole thing with Robert Flores, you can find that video online, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Robert Flores, in effect, was mad and said that Floyd Mayweather shouldn't call himself TBE, the best ever. That he should get rid of all that garb, all the paraphernalia, anything that's got TBE on it, he should get rid of it. Which is so insane, you know? Like this is some communist society, and Floyd is a bad person and he's wrong, and he shouldn't say that he's the best fighter ever. Okay. From Eugene Jackson, Doug, who you got now, Dwight Howard or the Clippers? Oh, I don't got none of them. I hope they tie. You know I'm a Clipper hater because I'm a Lakers fan, and I'm definitely not a fan of Dwight Howard's ass. From Fred Mack, Stephen A. should have told Flores, hey, you're not in the top 20 commentators of all time, but you probably think you're good, right? Laugh out loud. Exactly. And Stephen A., to his credit, once again, he put dude on his place. It's like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Like Stephen A. had to look like, I can't believe what this guy is saying. Like, this guy, what you're saying makes no sense at all. Yeah. From DB12, ESPN has morphed into Fox News. They had a campaign of hate towards Mayweather and Winston all last week. They think they're so big in sports and they can tell people what and who to like or cheer for. Well said. Exactly. Well said, DB12. That's exactly what it seems like. They're always trying to control the narrative, and you know, if you got a different opinion, you know, like this Robert Flores guy, the look on his face was of utter disgust that Stephen A. Smith was somewhat defending Floyd Mayweather. The look on his face was like, I can't believe that you would say these things, Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. had to correct him. He was like, wait a minute. When Flores went off about how, you know, he should get rid of all of that stuff with TB on it. He should never say that again. Stephen A. was like, wait a minute, Playboy. Wait. He says that. You don't have to believe that, but that's him. You can't tell us, man, what to say or how to feel. And that's ESPN in a nutshell, man. That's the Puppet Factory in a nutshell. Oh, I'm sure they were called into the office about that. I'm sure they were. Stephen A., how could you take such a strong standpoint against your coworker? I mean, just work with him. He was just trying to, you know, get some insight from you. No, you were mad at this man because he understood where Floyd was coming from when Floyd thinks and believes that he's the best fighter ever. And once again, it's hard to disagree with Floyd. You might disagree with him. I guess it's not hard for you to disagree, but it's hard for you to really argue. It's all opinionated. This man ain't never lost, not even come close to losing. And everybody they put in the ring with him that y'all thought were going to beat him, and I'm talking to the Floyd Mayweather detractors, he kicked their ass. He did. Sluggo. I was going to post that story in TDSS Facebook group, but upon reading the story, it clearly stated that no one withheld credentials from them. Yeah, and the whole Michelle Nichols and whatever the Beetle lady is saying that they didn't get credentials to the fight. Floyd Mayweather's camp is denying that. But if he didn't want to get him credentials and he made that happen, I ain't mad at him. They're bringing up these stories about domestic violence from 5-6 years ago. I don't think it's relevant. It's damn near Bush League, in my opinion. Yeah, that's not the way I was taught to do it. But once again, the Puppet Factory, they make all the rules. You know, Bro McDowell, were the two female reporters going to ask Lampley about the past? Lampley is the most prominent voice of boxing itself. Of course they won't. Stagger Lee, I'm in this snitch like a bad fight in Vegas on Saturday, like a foot in the Hawk's ass on Sunday afternoon. You're wrong for that, Stagger Lee. How dare you? Fred Mack, Hawks can go ahead, hang up their second-round banner because they are done. I don't believe that. You don't believe that either. It's just one game. Real People Music. We're not going to have any of that hog bashing today. All y'all said they were done after the last series was tied. Exactly. Great point, Real People Music. Thorny Switch, damn, Mr. Fuji is still alive. Mr. Fuji is still alive, and he's 80 years old today. Happy birthday to him. From Kiss My Go to Hell, Floyd had the weird Burger King mascot with him. Laugh out loud. Gotta love marketing. Yeah, that's very weird. The Burger King mascot guy that you've seen over the last couple of years is very creepy. He looks like a freaking pervert. I mean, he does. There's something pervertish about the Burger King mascot. Andre Patterson, Mayweather and his camp were upset because of the propaganda. The Puppet Factory was painting a very negative picture of Floyd and positive picture of Pacquiao, therefore making people hate Floyd even more, like throwing gasoline on a fire. Exactly right. Well said. And Floyd was adamant about it. And I said this earlier. Floyd was adamant about it. You know, there's nothing worse than calling a man a coward. I mean, unsubstantiated people calling this dude a coward. I mean, them's fighting words where I'm from. For 5 years, all the detractors call this man a coward. And the man fights for a living. Not only does the man fight for a living, which kind of defies being a coward in itself, but he's like one of the best to ever fight people and beat people up. The man beats people up for a living and had never lost. No one ever beat him up. And y'all were calling him a coward. Now what you going to say the day after? And Floyd kept asking the question, are y'all going to go back and apologize? Are y'all going to rewrite those stories y'all were saying about me being scared and Manny's going to do this and Manny's going to do that? You're not going to do it. They're going to have amnesia today. They got amnesia today. It's almost like they got hit in the head with a brick. They got amnesia today. Congratulations and ball award to Floyd Mayweather Jr. for kicking the crap out of Manny Pacquiao. This what you hear on the Doug Stewart Show. I got one question for you, man. One question for you. Are you not entertained? You know you're entertained, man. Thank you for joining your boy. We'll do it again tomorrow, man. Shouts out to Tree of Life, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri. Gerald came out to the fight the other night, hung out with the Doug Stewart Show. He's the engineer to the show. He's really the reason how this show happens. Thank you, Gerald. Appreciate it. Shouts out to all the Stewies in the chat room. Shouts out to you all. Thank you so much. We'll do it again tomorrow, the same Doug Stewart time, the same Doug Stewart channel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.